And feel free to unmute when you're ready.
Am I going first with my presentation, or Evan, are you going first?
Crystal, you go first, okay?
Okay, gotcha. I have a little slideshow here. Okay. Can everyone see my screen now? Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna set this up. Okay. I love Canva so much. If you can't tell, every slideshow I use Canva to make it, and it's just so fun and creative. But anyways, hi everyone, my name is Crystal Widado. I am so happy to be here, and this is such an honor. You guys have no idea. I put my contact information down there in case anyone wants to be friends on Instagram, or just mutuals, or just contact me for anything. But yeah, it means so much that so many people are here today. So just a little bit about me. I'm Crystal. Like I said before, I use she, her pronouns. I'm a sophomore at Glendora High School. If you don't know where Glendora is, it's in the middle between Claremont and Los Angeles. That's how I like to describe it. And I'm so glad to have the opportunity to be the president of my NCHS chapter this year. We call it NAMI, Healthy Minds, because we're very quirky like that. And yeah, and besides from NCHS, I'm a part of my local NAMI San Gabriel Valley affiliate. I work within their advocacy team and also do some social media work there. And I'm also the writing director of Each Mind, which is a youth mental health nonprofit. As the writing director, I mainly do work organizing their quarterly magazine, and also work with their blog and some social media stuff. But outside of mental health advocacy, I absolutely adore journalism work, and I'm part of my journalism group in high school, and I'm also the captain of my debate team, and I like running my little sticker shop, which feeds my obsession with hoarding stationery. I just want to put that out there, because a little disclaimer, I do have a lot of and I want to be honest with my presentation, I do have a lot of imposter syndrome with a lot of the things that I do. So I just want to remind everyone that the list of extracurriculars here isn't the only way to show anyone's dedication towards mental health advocacy. I want to make that really clear, that there's so many different ways you can show that you care about mental health that don't involve overworking yourself, burning yourself out. And I just want to make that clear, because I learned that the hard way, and I'm really glad that I've learned that at all, that I can share that with you guys. But going into the highlights of last year, because now that hopefully the pandemic is almost over, no second wave, please, so that I can go back to high school next year. I just want to talk about some of the cool things that we were able to do as a club last year, along with some in-person meeting ideas. So I was really lucky to be a board member as a freshman in high school. So that's how I got involved with my NCHS chapter. I was making social media graphics, and that's how I met Ava Todd. She's my current vice president of my club right now. And Ava, to me, she's been a long friend of mine, but I think she's also really taught me how to accept help from others. And I think that has really made me into a better leader today. And I also think that Ava represents how NCHS gets good leaders like Ava and I to work together. And we're always bouncing ideas off of each other. We're constantly talking about how can we decrease stigma in our school, and how we can make mental health a bigger point at our school. And I love how NCHS has brought two leaders together like that. Another person who has really helped me is Jessica. She's in the picture to the right there. Jessica actually founded my chapter. She is an absolute legend at my school. I adore her so much. And I think Jessica, I was a really brave freshman. I reached out to her and was like, hey, can we talk about your advocacy work? She specifically advocates a lot for LGBTQ plus teens and the mental health effects of homophobia and stuff like that. And as a previously in the closet teen back then, that was so interesting to hear about. And she's been such a role model in my life. And I think to me, Jessica represents how many role models that NCHS produces in a way, and I, without sounding too conceited, I hope I can live up to Jessica's legacy in that way. Other than that though, besides these two fantastic women that have inspired me and that I've had the huge honor to meet through NCHS, we were able to do a lot of cool things last year, participate in the NAMI Walks event, which is shown in the right with Jessica holding up the little sign I made. And we were able to do a lot of like fun and de-stressing arts and crafts events. I think the arts and crafts events where we brought like pizza and like celebrated different cultural foods and just allowed people to have like a midday Wednesday de-stressing moment and talked about why that's important was like super beneficial to a lot of students. And we also collaborated with our local domestic violence agency, the House of Ruth, to give just general mental health presentations. And other than that, I have so many in-person meeting ideas that I want to go into next year, but some of them include like just getting in touch with my local NAMI affiliate to have any of the silence presenters, to have like bigger speaker events, because not only are they really great in inspiring a lot of students, I think they're also really great because a lot of students in mental health clubs want to get into the mental health field like I do. I personally want to get into like the intersectionalities between the mental health and the criminal justice system, but there's so many students like me who want to be like therapists, social workers, and we need connections. And I think having speakers and having different outreach programs connect students who want to get into mental health advocacy, who want to get into the field with people who can direct them to more to other people, or just like mentors and role models in general. So I think that's another cool thing about NCHS. But yeah, that's like speaker events is something I really want to do next year. And another thing I really want to do next year is, and for like as a this is like a ideal list for anyone listening now, is during AP testing and final season, I've always wanted to have like my club go around and give little wellness presentations and just remind students that it's okay to be stressed out right now. Like right now is AP testing season, so it's okay to be stressed out right now, and it's okay to struggle a bit, but remember to like practice basic self-care. And just I would love to have my club members give that little boost to AP students and just students in general at like around this time of the year. And another thing that I thought was so important from the last presentation was like being involved in school board meetings, right? Like actively getting your club to care about these things, because I think and this was something that I was able to do this year. Actually, my school had these days off called Wellness Wednesdays, and they took those away recently. And although we weren't able to get them back, I was able to actually talk to my principal directly about it, which was super cool on behalf of like NAMI and a bunch of other clubs. And I think that's something so cool about NCHS. There's just so much potential in just this one club to do such important work. But yeah, and then the pandemic hit last year, and then we started doing these 30-day coping activities. I think that was like super cool because we didn't even know that mental health would be so affected by the pandemic around March last year, like the beginnings of the pandemic. And we had really cool virtual meetings with the House of Ruth, and then also held like a fun virtual talent show. These are all things that we can still be doing right now, by the way. But something personally that I wanted to share was that at that time, I was like freaking out that I wouldn't have any like advocacy opportunities because of the pandemic. But I got invited to speak at NAMI California Youth Symposium last year, and that was super cool. And just being able to be connected through NCHS to NAMI California has brought me personally so many opportunities that I'm so grateful for. And I think to me that represents how like NCHS and NAMI California and every awesome person there is a great opportunity for students to be connected to cool opportunities to advocate for more for students to advocate more for mental health. And I think that's like a really awesome and beautiful thing. So now going on to this year's accomplishments. This year, I want to we've been able to maintain really good club activity, but I also want to take this time to like remind others that it's okay to not have a super active club in the middle of a pandemic, because I think this was something that Ava really taught me that I used to really stress out about. But I think something that I've learned through Ava and through just like this year in general is that just having 4+ people show up who are passionate about making change is a win in itself. And I think that's okay and that's good enough, and that we should be celebrating that. I'm really fortunate to have like a good 20 more students per meeting, and we've been able to maintain like good club activity through social media advertising and good outreach, and in our own administration and also my board that I'm really thankful for. Another thing we've been able to do this year is empower younger members. And I think this is another like amazing thing about the NCHS program in general. I'm going to share this story about my friend Jada. She's a freshman member of my board this year, and she allowed me to share this with you guys. But Jada basically had some issues getting leadership positions in 8th grade year and was really worried that she wouldn't be able to express her a lot of the great leadership skills that she has. But through NCHS, she was able to build so many good skills that are important for like real life skills, but also like important in defeating her own stigma at such a young age, along with being able to make great presentations, researching skills, and making student like led PowerPoints about certain mental health concerns. She was able to find this place in NCHS to be a great leader. And I'm so proud of her for that. And I'm just really, I see a lot of myself in her, and I'm really glad that NCHS has given her this opportunity. And then the last thing that I think is so important is connecting with our community. I think by using, I say in the slides here, by using the intersectionalities of mental health to reach out to different chapters, to different speakers, to different clubs within our school, we've been able to find like the great intersectionalities of mental health and just connect more with our community, which I think is a win in itself. Because I think something really cool about mental health is that it affects every part of our lives, from our criminal justice system to our healthcare system to our personal relationships with ourselves to how we perceive other people. Mental health is like connected everywhere, right? So it's so easy to find like ways to collaborate with others. My club was able to collaborate with the what we call the Voice Club. It's a club that raises awareness around domestic violence and sexual assault. So obviously there are a lot of intersectionalities there, and we had a really good club meeting about it, and I was so happy about that. And since we're on Zoom this year, we were able to like utilize the pandemic and Zoom and stuff to collaborate with other NCHS chapters. And it was so cool to meet new people across the state, and we have more planned this month, and I was so happy about that. And I think that really just represents how NCHS not only like helps students see mental health in a more intersectional way, but also better connects them to their communities. Going on here to like some things that I've learned this year, and another disclaimer that these are things that I learned through trial and error, and I am definitely not a perfect leader at all, but I think something that was so like great was through making this presentation, I learned that these are things that I can work on, and there are some of these things that I can work on, and there are some of these things that I'm doing well, and that was like a good win in itself. One of the best things I think that I know how to do personally is utilizing my network, and this comes kind of naturally because, as if you can't tell already, I'm really extroverted. So I was able to utilize a lot of like the networks I had within different like presentations I've made at different events and different extracurriculars that I'm a part of, and just asking if anyone knows anyone who can come to present at my club, or any like specialist who wants to present at my club. So utilizing my network has been so important this year, and especially considering how easy it is to network through Zoom these days, I think that's really important to utilize. And then the second thing was connecting my experience from other extracurriculars I'm a part of, especially with NAMI. I don't like calling NAMI San Gabriel Valley and my work there as an extracurricular, because I feel like that sounds like a bad time commitment when it's so much fun. But through my, I guess, experience at NAMI San Gabriel Valley, I've been able to get so many cool speakers. I've been able to learn like good social media graphic design, and even if you're not a part of a local affiliate, being able to take even just like leadership skills that you might be learning from sports, or public speaking skills from, I don't know if any of you are drama kids or from that, utilizing those experiences you have and those skills you have is so important in maintaining like a great club. And the last thing is advocating loudly, especially right now. I think especially this year, we've learned so many different injustices that happen in our community. And I think something about mental health advocacy is literally being able to advocate for something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, which is mental health, unfortunately. And if people don't want to talk about it, that's why we're going to advocate for it, because there are going to be vulnerable and marginalized communities that we need to protect. So whether if it's marginalized communities of race, for example, with the recent anti-Black and anti-Asian hate crimes there, and murders, there are going to be opportunities to create like support groups for that, right? So being able to advocate and loudly and almost like authentically about these things and connect them to mental health is really important. And I'm glad that my club seems to have that intention, and that I'm hoping to do that soon. almost done here. Sorry, I've been going on a really big rant, but I've been talking about so many cool leadership impacts that I want to like summarize them real quick. So if you're thinking about adding an NCHS chapter to your school, I think you should definitely do it alongside the part about like defeating stigma. It teaches like teamwork to board members and just members in general. It provides role models to younger students. It provides people with new opportunities and forming networks, and it creates the leaders of tomorrow with younger board members. And it also helps students connect them with their communities through realizing the many intersectionalities of mental health. I think my school club has been great in being like student-led, especially too. I want to go into this super quickly. Student-led presentations allow like students to really connect with the people who are presenting, and I think that's really important. I think we've been pretty good at like offering a brave and safe space for people to have important conversations about things that they're vulnerable about. And I think lastly, we have like a foundation of a movement of mental health advocacy and to fight for like mental health justice with so many students who are like passionate about getting into the mental health field and finding the different intersectionalities of mental health. And I think every day, like every Wednesday that I see like my club, I think, oh, these are kids like me who are going to be making an impact soon. And I'm super happy about that. And I just want to give one final reminder. Sorry, I like the little emojis. My final reminder is if anyone is thinking about starting a club and just if anyone's feeling like alone in starting a club, I think it's important to remember that mental health advocacy isn't something that is done through like isolation. I think Ava taught me this, and I mentioned this in the beginning. This is something that we're all fighting for together, and you have help around you. And I really wish I realized that soon. But yeah, you're not alone, and every ambition you have with fighting for mental health is so going to come true. And I am so proud of everyone here and so happy to be here as well. So yeah, I'm sorry for speeding through the last one. The last few slides, I know I've been taking up a lot of time, but just a final like thing here. Those are my contact. That's my contact information in case anyone wants to reach out. I love making friends. So yeah, thank you so much, Angela, and thank you so much, Sophia, and everyone for being here and listening to me talk about how excited I am for the next 2 years of NCHS, basically. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I'm open to any questions if we have. Do we have time for questions? If not, I can answer them in the chat. That's fine.
Yeah, so we're running a little bit over time for your section because this is we're putting two together. So we're just going to quickly hand it off to Sabrina and Evan.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm going to start off and then turn it over to Sabrina. My name is Evanne Torrecillas. I am the Youth Programs Manager at NAMI Sacramento. And we're going to talk a little bit about ending the silence. So Ending the Silence is a presentation that talks about mental health stigma, the warning signs of an undiagnosed mental health condition, and most importantly, it really hammers home the message to please ask for help for yourself or for others, and to really be attentive, to be that observer, to look out for the people in your surroundings. So it involves this informational portion at the first half, and then we have a young adult speaker with a living with a mental health condition who goes ahead and shares their story. So Sabrina, go ahead and talk about your experience.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Sabrina. I'm 19 years old. I've been working with NAMI for a little bit over a year now. I started as the Ending the Silence presenter, and just this past weekend got certified as a support group facilitator. So that's really exciting to be doing some other things with NAMI, especially at a young age. I think it's really important to have the youth representation. So I was personally, I'm going to share a little bit about my story and about how Ending the Silence and NAMI has really helped me grow. In 5th grade, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety and panic disorder, and it was super life-changing, and back then there wasn't really a lot of resources. It wasn't something that was talked about enough, and specifically, me and my family did not know where to go for help. And so we finally were able to get into counseling and learning coping mechanisms and seeking treatment. And from a really young age, one of my favorite coping mechanisms was talking about it and sharing my story. And so it started off with just people at my local church reaching out to my mom, asking if I can go speak to their children. And so I would speak to kids that, looked like me and were my age and just share what I went through and things that helped me. And then it went on to later sharing at churches, and then from that, conferences. And I was just super, super passionate about sharing my story and getting it out there that you're not alone. And so from a young age, it was super passionate about speaking and talking about it. Even though it was hard at times, it was something that really helped me in my healing process. And so about a year ago, I found NAMI. I actually found it through, I started doing pageants, and through pageants, my platform was mental health and anxiety. And so I was really, and I'm really, really grateful right now to be Miss Teen California. And my platform is advocating for anxiety treatment awareness, specifically talking about NAMI. So it's something that I'm super passionate about, and I'm really thankful to have that platform to be able to share my lived experiences as well as the resources that are out there, such as NAMI. And so I found it because I was looking for local resources and community things that I can volunteer with, specifically with my platform related. And I found NAMI, and I started being an Ending the Silence presenter. And it was something that was really, really near and dear to my heart, especially because a lot of these kids are similar to my age or only a couple years younger than me. And so it's really nice to be able to speak to someone that is, looks like me. And back then, when I was little, I used to be very, I wish I had something like this. And so I would spend hours on my computer, on YouTube, researching anxiety testimonies and just trying to find videos of people that looked like me and were going through something that I was going through. And so it's really awesome to be able to have this platform, to be able to speak to those and share that they're not alone. And I think it's really helpful and really important for the youth to be listening to the youth and what they're going through. And especially when you're unsure of what you're going through, it's always nice to hear from an adult about what they think that is happening, but it's really, really rewarding. It's a whole different type of recovery when you're hearing it from someone that is your age and is going through it as well. And so with Ending the Silence, that's one of my favorite things about it, is just that you're hearing, in the beginning, you're hearing about, warning signs and education, and you're getting that education. And then right after that, you're getting a story from someone that's living with that experience. And so I think the beginning part's super important, because I don't think that we talk about the people that are, we talk about the people that are going through mental illnesses, but we don't focus on the people that are watching or that are near, and family and friends, the people that are going through it. And I know specifically for me, it was hard. My peers didn't understand it when I was going through it in, elementary and high school. And so I think it's really important that we start educating our peers and our youth on that as well, even if they're not going through it, ways that they could help or ways that they could support. And just so that the people that are going through it feel less alone. So I think that Ending the Silence is just altogether such an amazing, thing that we do with NAMI. And I hoped that we can get it out there as much as we can. And yeah, that's a little bit about me and my backstory, and how much I appreciate and love NAMI and NAMI Ending the Silence, and how life-changing it is for those.
Thank you, Sabrina. And I can say that having Sabrina as the young adult presenter, we have another student as well, another college student, and just having that person who is so ready to use their lived experience and really make meaning of it and share and be that role model, like it's perfect as well, to be there and support you. So in talking about Ending the Silence, as we've been doing it in NAMI Sacramento, a lot of, and I wanted to say, Crystal, it is so awesome that your club is still active. I know a bunch of the clubs in Sacramento have been struggling a bit, but we're in contact with them, and we're gonna, get involved at the start of next school year, right? Fresh start. But we've also been delivering Ending the Silence presentations to community organizations, to parents at elementary schools. We just did one at the SAC LGBT Community Center, different organizations, again, who have all of these youth who are attending and participating and want to be leaders in their own communities. So that's how we are using Ending the Silence. But we also with our youth programs, we have kind of bigger goals. So for, as Sabrina had mentioned, she just finished the support group facilitator training, which is fantastic. And we have the hopes of creating young adult support groups. Kind of impress is, sorry, my internet. The other thing I just kind of like to say is, in general, for any youth or young adults who are seeking that, that inspiration and collaboration, there is always someone who wants to help. There's always someone who wants to contribute, and just ask, right? Ask and find somebody else to ask and keep going, because they're out there, the people who want to draw those connections. Along that vein, I wanted to do a quick plug for an Ending the Silence presentation that Sabrina and I are actually doing this Saturday. If you would like to check out kind of an alternate format, we've adjusted it a little bit. It's for the Cooper Woodson program at Sac State that supports Pan-African students. And we are just mixing it up a little bit, but also keeping those same messages of ending the silence and really hoping to facilitate discussion. So again, that's Saturday. It is available to the public. I'm gonna drop that into our chat. And additionally, another program, when it comes to asking for help and collaborating, it's that paying attention to all these different opportunities for people to share their lived experience. So we have another event. It's a teacher town hall focused on supporting students with ADHD. So we have a student with ADHD and teachers who really want to support their students. We have a counselor with ADHD who wants to support his students. And it's just really going to be a nice, awesome collaborative event. But youth can coordinate these things, youth can initiate them, they can bring ideas, and it's really extending the hand so that we can build the things that are needed in our communities. And let me go ahead and drop that in the chat as well. And yeah, that's all I kind of have for right now. If anyone has any questions.
Thanks, y'all. That was great. Oh, I don't have my camera on. Sorry. That was great. And if anybody has any questions, I know Sabrina, you have to leave soon. But I did see an NCHS specific question in the chat that I just wanted to address really quick. I may have skipped this over, but I'm the NCHS coordinator. So anything NCHS specific in a general sense, not pertaining to your local affiliate, who will be supporting you, like Evan and some other affiliates that we have here on the call today. NCHS is not throughout the country yet. It's not like NAMI on Campus, the college program that's already been around for a while. NAMI on Campus High School is just in California, at least for now. You can connect with me at NCHS at namica.org. I believe I put it in the chat box a little earlier, but I'll put it in there again. And then Rodney can also put in the link for our info page. It's a really great program, and if you are a student leader or you're an advisor for a school and you're very interested in starting one on your campus, as we heard from both Crystal and our team NAMI Sacramento team here, it's super beneficial for students. And if y'all have any other questions, and how much time do we have left? I think I'll do a couple more minutes if anybody has any questions about NCHS or any of the work that NAMI Sacramento is doing. And If not, our other workshop will be joining us soon, and then that's when we'll do our final wrap up. Let me make sure that
I have a question for Crystal if she's still here. Hi, Crystal. So my question is, I don't know if I missed it, but you talked about like empowering younger members or like new members of the team. Can you talk, I know like peer mentorship is really important. So I don't know if you could talk a little bit about how you all do it.
This is a question that I got last time as well, and I have to admit that this year has been so hectic with the pandemic that I don't really have as much of a program foster to connect seniors with freshmen or upperclassmen with underclassmen in general, because I felt like my connection with Jessica was more just natural, if anything. But I think something that I have like of an idea I have for next year is hopefully having more upperclassmen, or just a few upperclassmen, including myself, that are a part of the board, that will give like maybe monthly or almost like have social media postings for underclassmen of like resources, advice, and just reminding underclassmen that the first 2 like years of high school, it can be hard sometimes, and that's okay. And in terms of like the mentorship part, I think that's something that might come through more like club meetings and bringing that up, and more events to connect underclassmen and upperclassmen together. But thank you for the question. I just haven't been able to like solidify that this year because of the pandemic.
No, I totally understand. I coach an activity and it's just been really difficult to connect everyone together. But I feel like during the pandemic, it's like every little thing counts, right? All these different efforts, more than like celebrating the small wins, like they are big wins when we're able to connect and support each other. Yeah, so that's awesome, all the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much. As a NAMI California, and I'm sure many of the participants here today, I've learned so much about the program and the impact of the work that y'all are doing, and especially to all of our presenters that have already presented today and yesterday. Such powerful things, especially coming from our youth presenters, hearing directly from the youth. It can't get more, I can't come up with a term, but when you hear it directly from the youth, that's when you know this is what's important, this is what they want, this is what they need. And as we're getting closer to today, I've already said it, but I will say it again. Thank you to everybody who is here today, even our participants. Before we end, I did want to give a quick information on our next event that will be happening on May 4th, that any of our youth leaders here today want to get involved on a little bit larger scale. We do have our Advocacy Day coming up on May 4th. Angela, did you want to give a little bit more information about what they can do to get prepared?
Well, sure. Again, just as Sophia said, thank you to everyone for your participation today. Evan and Sabrina and Crystal, I've been able to work with you in other settings, and I'm just always so impressed by how just seamlessly you talk about your experiences and your stories, and how it just really normalizes everything that so many folks feel. So I have so much admiration for the work that you're doing. Crystal, like just the work you're doing at the high school level, like I do follow you on social media, and I love your passion and your voice, and it's infectious. And I hope that, folks today that were joining in, feel like, they can take that inspiration that you have all provided, and they can use their voices in the same way. So I have so much admiration for your work. Thank you all so much. And for the support that, Kim and Chris and, Mata and Senator Portantino and, our, NAMI affiliates and leaders and, just so many folks that are around this topic. And it's so inspirational. So as Sophia said, for those of you that are looking to, get connected to more advocacy related opportunities, opportunities, we do have our Capital Advocacy Day on May 4th. This is an opportunity for you to participate, to learn a little bit about the work that NAMI California does at the state level, advocating for things like SB 224. You'll have the opportunity to engage directly with legislative staff, to meet with them and encourage them to continue to support these conversations around youth and student mental health, as well as mental health in general. And so if you want to do that, I think we put the link in the chat box. If not, we can drop that in before we close here today. But these, advocacy takes place every day at all levels. And so it's a journey, for those of you that are really just looking to find your community and to find others that might be experiencing what you're experiencing, for parents and caregivers who are just learning to navigate the system and the school system and trying to figure out how to get help for the ones that you love. There's opportunities to be supportive in an advocacy role wherever you're at. Not everyone wakes up and is ready to, hit the Capitol for a lobby day. So just know that wherever you are in your advocacy journey, we have a lot of folks ready to help, whether it's in your community, through your local NAMI, through a community partner, school district with folks like Kim. We really just want to be here to support that. So, I think that's it for a plug for the event. Do we have anything else, Sophia? I know we want to say another huge thank you to Blue Shield for their generous support for this event and for providing the opportunity for us to bring together all of these voices. We do have a post-event survey. We'll put a link for that in the chat box. The materials, as well as the recording from yesterday and today, we'll have those available for you to view on our website after the event. Any of the information shared, the documents, the links, events coming up, we'll pull all of that together for you in a post-event program. So we can get that out to you. Is there anything else, Sophia?
Nope, I think that's about it. That was a great wrap up.
I'm so excited. Everyone that joined us is so amazing, and I'm so grateful to them for all the things that they did to support this event. So, and to our team, I know I said it yesterday, I want to make sure I reiterate it today. These events, all the work that goes on in the back end, our staff that support this, the TA, the chat box, the Zoom links, the making folks hosts, the switching over with me when I can't figure out how to share my screen because apparently today was my first day on Zoom. All of the work that everyone does behind the scenes, like this is 100% a true team effort. So thank you to the NAMI California staff for all the work that you do to continue these events and the support. And a thank you to you, Sophia, for the work that you did to facilitate this event, to bring together all these voices. You did a phenomenal job with this. And so I want to make sure that we thank you here in this space as well as, within our team. So great job to you and all the work that you do here and for NCHS. All right, well, I don't have anything else.
Thank you all for being here today. Please take some time to fill out our feedback form so we can keep on doing a good job or improve where we need improvements. And then again, if y'all have any questions about NAMI on Campus High School, I put my email in the chat box. It might have gotten lost in all the things. So I'll put it in there one more time. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you at our next event or whenever we see you.
Bye, everyone.
Take care, everybody.